before we officially start, here's a list of what you will need. And I will have a link to everything in the description. But for the headpiece, you're going to need 1 yard of black velvet, black lace for the trim, white lace for the edges, a black zipper, and black thread. And for the ears, you're going to need black fur. A small test sample will be enough. Velvet or felt for the inside of the ear, something that's not going to fray. 18 to 16 gauge wire, so thick wire, and then interfacing or EVA foam. Again, I'll have everything linked in the description in case you can't find anything at your local craft store. Well, looks like we're back in here again. We are starting my best friend's commission because she was finally able to squeeze in. She's like, I need a commission done now. And I was like, okay. So right now, what we're making for her, we are making, oh, I forgot her name. Marcille? Marcille's headpiece, but it's only in the manga right now. I guess she gets a new outfit later on, and she has like this headpiece situation with the ears. She wants that. We're making that. Is that your hair tie? Is that your hair tie? Do you see this creature? We're gonna go work on that. Okay, we've moved out to the living room. So I actually found the perfect kind of pattern that I'm gonna use. I wanna print out the sheets to that pattern, and I'm gonna go to the library to do that because I don't have a printer. I will have a link to the pattern that I found. It's like, I downloaded stuff from it and didn't get a virus. So I think it's like a Japanese site. They actually have a bunch of different patterns. I will have that linked in the description for where I found it. You are so clingy. It's almost like we were gone for 3 days in a row. He let me just sit here and gnaw on his face and he didn't do anything. That's how I know he actually missed us. We're gonna go to the library, but I hear a train. So now we're gonna wait. Library is a no-go, so I need to figure out a different place to print. There is only one printer, and this dude, I have been here, hold on, let me look at the time. I have been here for about 20 minutes, roughly 20 minutes. This dude, he must have been printing the Bible, and he just got done with Genesis chapter 1, okay? Because I don't know what he was printing, but my God, he's nowhere near done, and I can't wait all day. That was kind of the whole point why I need to go find a place to print now. So we're gonna go figure something else out, because what was that? What was that? It took me so long to get these three sheets of paper that my laundry is now done, which is an hour-long cycle. My goal, I'm trying not to crash out. My goal today is to get this cut out and sized to what I need it to be. And then honestly, that's my goal, is just get it sized correctly. Because part of the pattern, I got a foot. Part of the pattern I have to make myself because it's like the piece that goes around here, which is fine. I can make that piece easy. Let me go transfer my laundry over, eat, and then we'll get started for real. Okay, I did a lot more than just eat. I figured out, so this is what the pattern looks like. Can you kind of see? Kind of looks like, well, it's supposed to go like way up here. It's supposed to look like this. Okay, I took this and I turned it into a much shorter version because it's not gonna go, it's gonna go up far, but it's not gonna go up as far. I basically took the original pattern and the length of my friend's neck, and then I just cut it down to size. For example, the length of my neck is 4 inches, so I would take 4 inches and then just cut off any excess. Also, we have 2 different fabrics that we're using. So they're both velvet, but here's the first one for the neck piece specifically. It kind of has like a fur look. And then the second one for the actual like veil and like, yeah, for the actual veil, we're doing this. So we got 2 different fabrics going on, but I think that they could work together very well. So that's what we're doing. Okay, I have my knee pads to match my swim shorts. Okay, let's do this shit. Yeah. What? Tried to give you attention, and that clearly wasn't enough for you. So this is what I get for not feeding you, okay? You just kicked yourself in the face. You're terrible at this. Oh, that's your face. Here are the pieces cut out. And then I'm gonna put them together and see how I like it. I got it pinned together. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna sew it together. So far, I think this is, I checked like 4 times. This is I always get self-conscious about the measurements. I'm like, what if it shrinks by the time I give it to her? I'm gonna sew these together, and then I'm going to, my next course of action is figuring out around the head, figuring out that situation. I just got done from the craft store. For the headpiece, I found this lace to go around the edges of, yeah, the headpiece. I got fur for the ears. So, yeah. And then I got stuff, I have to make a Cora coat next, which I'm very excited for. So I got stuff for that. We're gonna go home and we're gonna finish up the headpiece. I think I can get that done today. So let's go do that. Okay, it's kind of dark. I am sorry. I apologize for that. Okay, so I got this part attached. So what I'm gonna go do is I'm gonna go wash this. Like, no, what I'm gonna go do is I'm gonna go map out how long the veil needs to be, and then I will wash everything. Okay, I got the pattern figured out. So I have the pattern figured out for the veil. I can't really spin her very well, but I do have the veil figured out. It looks a mess as a sheet, but with the ears on, it's super cute. Like with the ears, it works really well because these help hold it back and like kind of pin it down. I actually plan on remaking this piece that I have going around. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave this attached to this, and then whenever I sketch out the veil, I'm gonna try to make it all one big cohesive piece so you don't see like a seam line. That's my plan. I'm going to show you a better look at the pattern. So let's start with the first set of measurements you're gonna need. Starting off with the easiest part, it's just gonna be around the head. So for me, that would be 23 inches. Our next set of measurements are gonna be from the top of the head down to the nape of the neck, and for me, that's 14 inches. This next part is gonna be a little more difficult. The start of the actual veil piece, I put it just above where the top of my ear is, and then I brought that down to the base of my neck, and that's about 9 inches. And with those rough measurements, I'll show you what the pattern looks like laid out completely. Starting with the measurements around the head, so that would be the 23 inches. And I made the rectangular piece 2 inches wide. And now for the center of the piece, which is the 14 inches down. And then for the actual veil piece, that's the 9 inches across, and then you're going to connect the center of the head and those 2 outer pieces, and it's going to kind of be like it's going to be kind of a curvature, kind of like half of a skirt pattern. And you may have to play around with it until you get the shape and the size that you want. That's what I had to do. So the finished pattern should look something like this. Okay, this is the veil. You must trust my process. Okay, I got it on there. Now I'm gonna go and sew this up. Yeah. Okay, I did a lot. So I got this attached. That is attached. I also got the zipper on there. Put a zipper on the back. So there's the neck piece, and then the veil. Okay, here she is. I literally have the perfect wig for it too. So Yes, yes, love her. Ah, I almost dropped her. Still need to wash and iron her. She needs that bad. But I'm very happy. Very, very happy with her. Okay, I'm gonna show you what I just accomplished today. So I got both of the ears done, and I don't know if you can see, I used the fabric that looks like fur on the inside, but I got the ears done today, and I made them to where they can just sit on the ear like those elf ears. I basically made them. This one's still drying, it has hairspray on it, but I made both of these today. I will make a tutorial here in a second for you of how I did this. Well, for you it'll be here in a second of how I made these ears, because I needed to hammer down and get these done today because I want my friend to be able to take these home, if nothing else, and she's on her way right now. Okay, we're making the ears next. For this tutorial, I'm gonna be using just some random stuff that I have, but it'll work the exact same. Because now that I'm filming this, the headpiece is gone. I'm just making this after the fact, because I am terrible at filming things while I'm doing it. We're gonna start with our wire. Now, you're gonna want a thicker, I only have very thin wire, but VoiceOver Faith will have told you what kind of wire you need. So use a thicker wire. How I made the ears was I used one of these as like a base line, not like a base, but like a guideline for what I wanted to make. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna be doing this part, the loop part, and we're gonna basically be making two of those that kind of connect with each other. You'll see. For the edges, I just take this, I pinch the end, and then I just kind of like twist it. I don't know if you can see that. I just kind of like twist. It's not gonna be perfect, but kind of twist. I wasn't sure how to explain this next step, but you basically take the wire and then you flip it backwards onto itself because you're gonna follow that C shape again. I don't know if that makes an ounce of sense. And once you get back around to the end, then you can cut it, but leave enough room that you can twist it. But just as long as it fits the ear. I swear to God, my hair is about to be my 13th razor. Anyway, next step. So I'm only gonna make one ear for this tutorial, save myself some time, but make two of these. And once you have one, it'll be easy because then the second one you can just use this as the perfect size for your ear. And when you make the second one, make sure to flip. Like, okay, for instance, this one goes on my right ear. So when you make the one for your opposite ear, flip it and then follow that as a guide, because then it'll go opposite ear. Okay, for the next step, we are going to make the design for our ear and how big we want them. Okay, one very important thing that I need to mention right now. The size of your ear is going to double when you put fabric on it. That's something that even I forgot about. So by the end of this video, my ear is comically large because I completely forgot that it was going to get bigger. That's what I get for making this part of the video about 3 weeks after the headpiece is gone. I don't remember a thing. And then what I'm going to do, like as you can see, that's where it ended. I'm going to do this, that's kind of where it ends, but I'm going to cut further away. I'm going to cut further away from the area that I actually want. Now that we have a pattern that we like, we're going to take that pattern, and I'm using interfacing to make the shape. You could use EVA foam, you could use, I have this stuff, this is like the cheap stuff from Walmart. You could use that, just double up on it so that way it holds its shape. But I'm using the thickest interfacing because I find that this holds everything in place very, very nicely. Okay, because I'm too lazy to go get my Sharpie, I'm gonna use a purple highlighter. This probably doesn't need to be said, but if you're making two ears, which I hope you are, remember to flip the pattern in the opposite direction so that way you have matching ears. Look at that. It's getting everywhere. Oh my gosh. Well, I should have just gone and gotten my Sharpie. I didn't realize it was gonna bleed on me. Now that we have our pattern, we are going to take our little ear and This part is very important. Make sure you know which side goes on the back of your ear and which side goes over the top of your ear. So for me, this goes behind my ear where you can't see it, and this goes around the front. We're going to take this ear, we're going to put it right in here. And then, hold on, I need to make sure. Now I did accidentally make this ear a little too big down here, so I'm going to size it to kind of fit in here better, so I'm going to kind of bring it down like this. I want to make it fit. I don't know if this makes any sense. I want to make it fit within the swirl, so I'm going to cut kind of along there. That way it fits. That way it fits in here. As this is going to fold over, and we're going to sew this into place. But first, we're going to cut kind of in the middle, right here. We're going to cut that so it's just like this. And then, when we put it in here, up, so that way that part folds up, and then this part kind of folds down. So it will hold like this. Now, when it goes on, I'm gonna go iron this, and whenever I iron it, what I do is I set the iron down on top of it, I let it sit for a second, I wait till it's safe enough to touch, still warm, make sure it's still warm, and then what I do is I take it and I like fold it out, I like bend it like this, so that way it sits, so that way whenever it's on my head, it comes out. So just bend it outwards like that, and then you might have to get, and then once it'll hold its shape. So once it's bent outwards, I take the iron and I only put it on like this middle section right here, and then I take it and I pop it like this, and I hold it in like a little cone shape, so that way it's like the inside of an ear. So, and I just hold it until it cools, and then it'll hold its shape. But I'll come back and show you what that looks like, because I'm gonna have to go set all that up, and I don't feel like taking you off of your whole stand that I have you set up on. For Marcille's ears, I didn't pop them out as far as I do in this video, but you just play around and see how far you want them to come off of your head, because you may want them to stick straight out, or you might want them to lay farther back on your head. That's up to you. I'm back. I also went and got my glue, but this is kind of what I mean, roughly. That's what it looks like. Now it's time to add the fabric. So for the Marcille ears, obviously it was black fur, but the inside of the ears, I actually used the fabric that was on the neck part of the headpiece, and that went inside the ear, so that way there was something matching. I just thought it would look nice. We're gonna start with the inside of the ear. So I didn't even grab the fabric for the inside. Hold on. I'm so good at this. Get your glue ready. I'm using this. You can use really whatever you want. I wouldn't recommend hot glue. You can use hot glue on this too. I wouldn't recommend it, only because if you're using interfacing like this, the heat might warp this part. So I recommend using something that's not heat related. For the inside of the ears, I recommend fabric that doesn't fray. So like velvet, felt, minky, stuff like that. I'm just using whatever was laying around. And I'm even going to leave like this bit here. I think I also did this for the Marcille. I left like this piece here, so that way it does cover up the front of your ear, kind of like that. So it kind of masks that part. For the back, I'm going to be a little more picky. Make sure that the hair is going in the direction that you want. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set this. I'm going to make sure that the whole thing can fit inside. And then I'm going to trace. I traced around the whole ear, but then I also traced where this lays. Now, whenever you go to cut this out, make sure that you leave a lot of seam allowance. specifically for this top piece, leave a lot of seam allowance because you're going to end up folding this top piece over. If you're making specifically Marcille's ears, then I highly recommend leaving even more seam allowance than I did in this video. If you look at the picture, you can see that the top part folds very far into the ear. So we're gonna put a ton of glue. We're gonna take this. Now what we're gonna take the top and bottom. I'm going to show you on the bottom because it's easier to see. That's where the actual ear is. We're going to take this bottom piece and we're going to glue this right in here. We're going to put it right where that ear is. So right at the very, very edge and over. And then let that dry for a second. And then we're going to do that exact same part. You can see that piece. We're actually going to take this. We're going to find where the end of that ear is. I'm going to tuck this behind here. So this is where the end of the ear is. We're going to take this top part and we're going to glue it kind of like that as well. And once you get a shape that you like, then you can trim off any excess. Well, I want to make a mild correction to that part of the video. In the video, I showed the fur hiding the back. And then as I was editing the video, I realized this part stays out of the ear. That part stays out. Instead of putting it inside the pocket, it's actually the very back of the ear is on the outside because the sheer amount of fur that is on this ear is going to hide your ear anyway. I'm not even good at remembering my own projects. This is sad. Also, I want to add the way that I keep the fur in place, because the fur gets messed up. The way that I keep the fur in place is I take a brush, because I have, what are they called? Slicker brush? You can, if you have one of those, great. If not, just use a hairbrush and brush out the hair and make it go in the directions that you want, and then take hairspray and douse it. And I mean, get it wet, like douse it in hairspray, and then you can go in and you can like style it and it'll hold that shape while still looking natural. I just wanted to add that. Okay, that was it. I just threw this together for the tutorial. This is not my full power, okay? I want you to know this is not my full power or my full potential. If I was making this for a commission, you bet these would look amazing. But these are for me. I don't care. Was that the greatest tutorial? No. Am I good at tutorials? No. So that probably didn't make an ounce of sense, and I do apologize for that. I am trying. Like everything that I just showed, that was like the steps that I took to make the Marcille ears. I just took more time. So again, in the drafting stage, take your time, make sure you like the shape and the size. The size of the ear is going to double once you put on the fabric. So keep that in mind. Now I'm going to clean up and go eat. Your girl is hungry. It's on. We got the lace on the veil here. This is the veil. Lace on the veil. And then on the neck piece, we have it on. Okay, and then next, we're going to add this around like the top. I'll just come back when I have it on there because this is going to take me a hot minute. She is done. I have her. She is finished. Yay! She is done. Okay, say goodbye. Say goodbye to her because she's leaving. She's leaving now. I'm gonna go take her to my friend. Yay! I love her ears. I love her ears. Her ears are so cute. I wanted to show off the ears kind of by themselves. That's cute. Look at that. That's so cute. This lighting isn't great. I think they're very, very cute. With the veil, they're even better, but by themselves, I think they are absolutely adorable. They're so cute. They're so cute. I forgot to film an outro, so thank you for watching. I hope this was somewhat helpful. I suck at tutorials, so I apologize if not. I'll see you in the next one, and hopefully it won't take me a month to upload. Okay, bye.